Did you know I have a totally free 1-hour training that thousands of therapists just like you have attended, where I'll teach you how to market and grow your private practice on Instagram? Sign up at the link in the show notes. I'm sharing how I earned $250,000 my first year in private practice with private pay clients from Instagram, and how you can do it too. Learning to showcase your expertise and market your private practice on social media will help you increase your income, reduce your caseload, and help thousands of people with their mental health online. Head to the show notes and register now. Welcome to the Business of Therapy podcast, where we're ditching the blank slate mentality and giving therapists full permission to show up authentically online and chase their dream 6-figure private practice. I'm your host, Kelly McKenna, licensed therapist, business coach, and content creator. I have made it my personal mission to help other therapists make a boatload of money and do it while working with clients they love and without sacrificing their work-life balance. I've been through the very same journey that you're on now. After ditching burnout, starting my own private practice, earning $250,000 my very first year, and scaling way beyond that, I'm here to give you all the behind the scenes. And in this podcast, I'm holding nothing back. You'll hear all the specific strategies, wins, failures, and lessons learned to help you build your very own 6-figure private practice and see that the business of therapy can truly be a lucrative one. Let's do this. Hello, my friends. In today's episode, we are going to be talking all about imposter syndrome, because this is one of the things that I see holding therapists back the most, right? One of the biggest reasons that I see therapists not getting results on Instagram is not because they don't know what to say, right? Or because they don't know how to market themselves. It's because they feel this need to sound more qualified, more insightful, more professional, or like more of the expert than anyone else, right? And they're afraid of not being taken seriously. And so they create this content that is frankly boring, because the harder that you try to sound like the expert, the harder it becomes for you to actually speak like a human, for you to connect with people, and for your ideal clients to feel seen. And so, I think that this comes down to a few things, right? Oftentimes I'll hear therapists ask the question like, what if another therapist disagrees with me? Or what if this sounds too simple? Or what if people think that I don't know enough? Or who am I to talk about anxiety or call myself an expert when there's psychologists who have 20 years of experience? And I want you to notice that these fears are not about your clients, right? These fears are really coming from the fear of judgment from other professionals and this need to position yourself as an expert. And I really want to give you permission here that you are not marketing to other therapists, right? You are not trying to create contact to earn the respect of your colleagues. That is not the purpose of showing up on Instagram. And your clients are not evaluating you in this way. They do not know or care about your theoretical orientation. They do not know or care about your clinical language or the citations or the research study, right? What they are asking themselves when they look at your content is, does this person understand what I'm going through? That is it, right? All the expertise we need to throw out the window. All of the clinical jargon we need to throw out the window, and we need to start speaking in the words that our clients use. And when we can do that, that is actually you showing your expertise, right? You showing that you know your clients better than anybody else. How I'll look at your page and know that you're an expert, right? In order to be able to speak their language, in order to use reflective listening skills and hear, what do I hear in session from people? And how can I put that back into the internet on Instagram? That is you showcasing your expertise, right? In order to instill or distill simple concepts into the heart and the meat and potatoes of what people are feeling, that is being an expert, right? And that is what makes people feel safe enough to reach out and ask to work with you. Not your impressiveness, not your degrees, not the number of years you've had in practice, the ability to make them feel seen and understood. And I want to show you what this sounds like in a post. That way you can really see and hear the difference here, right? So a therapist who's trying to impress others and showcase their expertise, maybe because of imposter syndrome, might say something like, trauma can dysregulate the autonomic nervous system and impact your ability to regulate. that's boring, right? Maybe you sound smart, but I'm not impressed because if I was a regular person, I wouldn't even know what that means, right? And I would not be interested in it. Now, saying something like, have you ever wondered why one small text message can ruin your whole day, even when you know you're overreacting? That's going to make people stop scrolling. That's going to make people think like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's the content that's going to fill your caseload because you are naming the exact experience that people are having, right? You are sharing what it actually feels like for them to have a dysregulated nervous system, right? To have some insight and still not know what to do with it, right? To know, oh, this text message ruined my whole day. I'm like all worked up about it. I know I'm overreacting logically, but this is still bothering me, right? That might be their trauma response. And in order to actually name that, that is going to give you such better results.
If you're struggling to market yourself and get private pay clients, there is nothing wrong with getting credentialed with insurance. It can make it a lot easier to fill your caseload and make the jump into private practice. When I first started my private practice, I got credentialed through Alma, and I loved it. I earned 3 times what I made at the group practice, and it was so much easier for me to get clients since I was in network. Alma handles everything you need to accept insurance, from getting credentialed to eligibility checks to claim submissions. And they guarantee payment within 2 weeks of each session. Visit helloalma.com/Kelly to learn more. That's helloalma.com/Kelly to get started.
And so I want you to really try and shift when you are marketing from showcasing like how much can you show people that you know to how can I prove how well I actually understand people. That is the difference. So instead of trying to like teach psychology or teach coping skills or provide a lot of psychoeducation, I want you to talk about the experiences that people have. I want you to talk about the thoughts that they're having, the emotions they're feeling, their everyday moments, right? So instead of saying like, here's how attachment styles work, maybe say, have you ever found yourself apologizing for things that weren't your fault? Maybe you then go on to explain how that comes from an anxious attachment style, but we are leading with the experience that people are having, right? Instead of saying, let's discuss nervous system regulation, talk about, do you feel guilty every time that you rest, right? Like get to the meat of it, get to what people are bringing to you in session or in intro calls and talk about the real problems and concerns in your client's own words. Because that is what people need and what they want from Instagram is they really want that recognition, not like that psychoeducation. People are not like out here scrolling, following therapists because they want free therapy. They really want to know, like, is anyone else like me? Am I broken? Can someone understand this? Is there hope? And when we create content that actually connects with people, that validates them, that shows them that we get them, that builds trust. And that trust is going to be what fills your caseload. And so what I really want you to ask yourself next time that you post is not how can I sound more like an expert, right? I want you to ask yourself, how can I make someone feel less alone today? And if you can do that, I promise you, your marketing is going to improve so much. And that is really the key to getting more specific. I had a coaching call recently with a few therapists, and we were going through different Reels ideas. And there was maybe 2 dozen therapists that we went through and worked on their Reels content with. And the thing that came up with every single one of them was that they were not getting specific enough. And if we took their first draft and made it one step more specific, it really resonated so much more. And so, oftentimes these therapists were including, these big clinical jargon, or they were describing fear of disappointing everyone else, like these kind of broad, vague concepts. But if we were able to distill it down into who is the one person they're afraid of disappointing and in what way? Or what does that feel like for them? Or what is like the fear underneath it? When we were able to actually take it that one step further, the content resonated so much more. This is what I help therapists with all of the time inside of coaching calls is how can we like take out some of that impressiveness, that jargon, that clinical language, that frou-frou-ness, and really go deeper and make our content more specific. Because when you master that, that is going to be what fills your caseload and grows your following and gets you private pay clients and all of that. So Do this, my friends. I want you to ask yourself the next time that you are hitting post, is this helping my client feel understood? Is this helping them feel less alone today? If not, where can I go one step more specific in order to make it happen? That is going to be what takes away the imposter syndrome, what makes it feel easier to post, and what gives you the results, which I promise is ultimately going to be the best cure for your imposter syndrome. When you see, oh my gosh, I'm actually getting clients from Instagram, I'm filling my caseload, I'm helping these people in session, like that is the best remedy. And sometimes it just takes that time and patience and learning marketing to actually make it happen. All right. Thank you, my friends. I will see you in the next episode.
Today's episode is sponsored by Jane, my fave electronic health record software that helps you handle the daily admin tasks for your private practice. The Jane team understands that therapists need the amount of time spent on notes to be short and sweet. This is why I love Jane's template library. Jane's community members, myself included, have given you access to our templates for you to use and customize to make notes faster than ever. To see how Jane can help you spend more time doing what you love, head to the show notes to book a personalized demo. And use the code Kelly2month when you sign up for a 2-month grace period applied to your new account. Thanks for hanging out with me today. My goal with this podcast is to help as many therapists as possible. So if you found this episode helpful, would you please do me a huge favor and leave a 5-star review wherever you're listening to this? As a thank you, every month I'm gifting one lucky reviewer a free month of done-for-you Reels ideas inside of my Reels membership. I'll see you here next Wednesday and talk to you soon.